What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Today we are doing a review and demo of the Patrick Ta Major Dimension Eyeshadow Palette. I picked this up recently during the Sephora Family Friend Sale where I got 20% off. I've been testing it out and I have some thoughts. So I thought today I would apply it for you guys, tell you what my thoughts are, if it's worth your money or not, and yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on this. But before we get into the video, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel for relatable beauty content. I post about all sorts of different beauty related things, so if that's your thing, make sure to come on in. I'd love to have you. And let's just get into the video. So this is the Patrick Ta Major Dimension Eyeshadow Palette. Now, I had my eye on this for quite some time. I talked about it in my Sephora wishlist video. What drew me to this palette is that there are all sorts of different finishes. I know that the shades in here are nothing to write home about. It's just like a warm neutral palette. Like, how many warm neutral palettes have we seen? And I honestly haven't been drawn to a palette of this size for a long time. This is the first like non-single shadow or very small palette that I've bought in a while. What drew me to this is that it has two cream shades to layer as base shadows with other shadows. There are a bunch of mattes and then different toppers and metallics in there. I loved to layer different finishes of shadow. I love cream shadow. I love topper shades. So I just thought, like, you know, maybe these formulas are really special, and a lot of people rave about the Patrick Ta, like the blushes, a lot of his other products. So I was really excited. I thought I'm gonna, you know, spoil myself. I'm gonna use my gift card for the 20% off sale. It is $68. Let me just read the specs off for you guys. It is $68 for 12 shades. You do get the two cream shadows. Really luxe packaging, but as you can see, it shows a lot of fingerprints. It's described as a versatile eyeshadow palette that contains two luminous cream bases, velvety matte and iridescent metallic shadows, and glistening pearl toppers. Everything in the description sounds like it would be right up my alley. It's not too big of a palette. It has all the different shimmers. It has neutrals and every shade I would use. So I've used this a few times, and the first time I used it, I was in a hurry. I wasn't having the best like makeup day. I think because I was in a hurry, it stresses me out. We were like throwing a surprise party for my sister-in-law, and I wanted to look nice, but I was focused on the house. That's beside the point. But I ended up having a small amount of time to do my makeup, and I did not use a cream shadow. I kind of went in with the mattes, and then I went in with this glitter topper shade, and I did not like how my eye looked. I felt like it looked like a really chunky glitter on my eye. It wasn't super reflective or multi-dimensional as the title states. And then also, like, this shade right here, I want to see if I can get the camera to focus for you guys. This, it's kind of like a matte with shimmer in it. It is so powdery. I've used it twice, I think, and the pee is almost gone because this shadow just flakes. I'm not going to post swatches, by the way, because I did take some for my Instagram, and I think I have some photos already, so I'll just insert some swatches for you guys. But I don't know. I will say that this palette swatched really nicely, but yeah, the first time I wore it on my eyes, I was not that impressed. And then I also filmed some first impressions for my Instagram stories. I do a lot of get ready with me's and makeup application for my Instagram stories. It just seems like a more casual place to hang out, so make sure you're following me there if you're not. But I liked my eye look more for that. I used a cream shadow, and it was more of a coppery look. I used more of the metallic and then used a topper shade. But still, I just wasn't wowed by the looks. We're going to apply some today, but I just wanted to tell you how I'm feeling about this palette. I think that unless I'm wowed by the look we come up with today, I am absolutely going to return this palette. I just don't think that the quality is there for the price. I like my ABH palettes more. I like my KKW palettes more. Those are the ones I've been reaching for the most. I like layering mattes with single shadows. I really love the Persona Identity palette. I don't know. I'm just thinking of all the palettes I reach for. I like the Natasha Denona mini palettes a lot more. So that's kind of where I'm at with this, unless the look we come up with today drastically changes my mind. I think I'm gonna take it back. I don't take things back to Sephora a lot, but you know, that's my hard-earned money, and even with the 20% off of $68, that's still really expensive. So long story short, let's just get into the eye look, but those are my thoughts as of now. I zoomed you in a little bit. I'm gonna go in with the cream shadow first. These two brown cream shadows, they don't really look that different. One's a little bit deeper than the other. I'm just gonna use the lighter because it just goes a little bit better with my skin tone. They're a little bit stiffer formula, so what I like to do is just go in with my finger and then tap it on my lid and do one eye at a time. I'm not going to prime my eyes, by the way. I prime my eyes with the Urban Decay Primer Potion the first 2 times, and they wear fine. That is really not the issue, but I'm curious how these base shadows wear as a primer. So I'm just going to blend that out kind of all over my lid. The cream shadows blend out really nicely. They're kind of like a matte cream shadow, a little bit stiffer than like a MAC paint pot. I'm going to take a little on my other eye. Just blend that out. And I think these make a great base. Like I really do like these cream shadows, and I like that they have a little cover so you can keep them fresh and they're not going to dry out. As you can see, those blend really nicely. Also, I didn't mention that I already have the rest of my face done for the most part. We're probably going to add to it, but I am currently testing out the Tower 28 Sunny Days tinted sunscreen. I think that one will be up before this, so make sure you watch that video if you want to see my thoughts on that SPF. But I left my eyes open so I could do my makeup for this. So there is the cream shadow all by itself. I think the cream shadow is nice. No issues there. I'm going to use this like sequin-y shade. It's kind of like the sequin row from the Tati palette. Throwback to that. I'm going to go in here. You can just see like just how powdery those shadows are. They just like fluff off everywhere, and I've seen a couple of my friends on Instagram who have gotten this palette and it has been broken because I mean, Sephora probably, I don't think they packed it correctly, but these shadows are just so soft and easily breakable for sure. It's definitely not a palette that I would feel comfortable traveling with because I would just be worrying about breaking it with it being such an expensive palette. So I'm just kind of layering up. It's a similar, this brown is a similar shade to the cream, but I think setting down the cream with the brown kind of helps the shadow last. Now there's only one metallic in here, which is this one. I used this last time and I'll go ahead and use it again because I do think these topper shades, while pretty, they're a little lackluster when you wear them by themselves. Like, they are beautiful swatch, but they don't have a lot of like base pigment to them. So when you don't wear a shimmer underneath, I don't really love how it looks. So I'm gonna tap this shimmer just kind of all over my lid. And I want to show you guys what every finish looks like. This is definitely similar to the look I came up with for my Instagram stories, but that's the other thing that kind of bothers me, is that I don't think I would be inspired to come up with that many looks because these two cream shadows look similar. There's only one metallic, and then there's a couple different brown mattes, and then like a couple topper shades. I don't know. So here is what the metallic looks like. It's alright. I don't know. Before I go in with a topper shade, I'm going to go in with this deep kind of reddish brown. I've used this shade, the more cool tone brown, to deepen up my corner a bunch, and it just looks kind of dirty and muddy, and like it just doesn't mesh with the other warm toned colors quite as well because it's so brown, almost black cool toned, and I don't think it looks flattering with the other shades. So yeah, for this price, it's like, well, I'd almost rather buy like a Pat McGrath palette or something, since we're already at the like over $50 range. Like I'd rather buy a Pat McGrath palette on sale maybe. Or like a Natasha Denona palette. I don't know. I like that matte a lot better than this one. This one just does not go, to me, it does not go with the other shades. I'm not a fan of it. I'm gonna go over everything with that fluffy brush with the lighter shade. Just blend it out. Alright, I've used this topper shade and this topper shade. I've used these two. The only one I haven't used is this like darker topper shade. So I'm gonna tap that right in the middle of my lid. Okay. It's definitely more glittery. I hope you guys can see if I look down. It's definitely more glittery than the metallic. But to me, it doesn't look that reflective. It just looks like chunky glitter on my eyes. I'm going to add a little bit of the white kind of topper just to see if that adds a little bit. Like right at the base of the center of my lid. I don't know, man. These just seem a little... This whole palette is just lackluster for me. I don't know. What are your thoughts seeing it? And like I want to deepen up. I want to like use a liner, but I feel like this one's not going to look good. Let me just show you. Okay, for the purposes of this video, I will use that shade as a liner so I can just show you what it looks like. So I'm going to take this deepest cool tone brown. And just line. Maybe that'll be better than using it as like an outer corner shade. See, it just looks kind of muddy with the other colors. Alright, so that's all I think I'm going to do for the eye look. I'm just going to clean up my under eyes a little bit because I didn't use a ton of concealer before on purpose because I knew I'd be doing like a more intense eye look. So I'm just gonna clean up a little bit. I haven't powdered it all because I knew I'd be cleaning up my under eyes, but I'm not a big powder gal anyway. Just gonna use a concealer brush and clean it up. Just don't have a ton of fallout, which is good. I'm gonna set my under eyes with a little bit of the Hourglass powder, the loose powder. Just so we can do our lower lash line. Alright, I'm just going to take what's left on my two powder brushes. This is the one with the deeper kind of auburny shade. I'm going to stick that right to my lower lash line. And then I'm going to take the one with the brown and just and that's pretty much the eye look. There is really no shade in here that works for inner corner highlight. I tried this one the other day. It's just super powdery and doesn't really do much for the inner corner, so I'd probably use a traditional highlight for that. Let's just finish up the face and then I will tell you my final thoughts. I went ahead and applied my Lawless the One and Done mascara off camera because that's just, no one wants to watch mascara, that's just boring. But I did a really, really minimal face for the Tarte 28 video, so I'm just going to add a few powder products. I'm going to add this Bobbi Brown bronzer in Stone Street. I've been really into this bronzer. It just has a perfect tone that I'm liking right now. It's not too orange, not too cool toned. And I feel like it goes with this kind of fall toned look. I'm going to add a little blush, this Bare Minerals bronzer in the shade Kiss of Pink. Because right now I just have the Tower 28 cream products on my cheeks. I'm going to add one of my favorite highlights of all time, which is Becca Moonstone RIP. I guess this is still available with Smashbox. And then I'm going to apply some of this to my inner corner as well, since there's nothing really to brighten up. And I don't always do an inner corner highlight, but I've been watching my like videos back lately and I'm realizing that I kind of miss having that brightness, and there's nothing really to do that in this palette. For lips, I'm just gonna throw on this YSL Rouge Volupte Shine lipstick in the shade 122. It has some like lip gloss on already. This is the shade 122 Burnt Zellage. Maybe we should put some lip liner on. I did take out this KKW lip liner in Taupe Wood. I've never tried this shade. A friend sent this to me. Just because it's a more sheer, shiny lipstick. I don't know if that did anything. When she rebrands, I hope she comes back with different lip liner packaging, because I feel like I keep ruining them trying to sharpen them because they're like so plasticky. Yeah, I felt like that was perfect with this top. So here's the final look all together. I will show you the final eye look. I will say, I don't think this eyeshadow looks bad. I actually think it looks really nice. But when you expect something, you know, that's going to be some exceptional quality, I'm just not wowed by it. I feel like I'm going to come up with the same couple looks. I feel like I have so many metallic and topper and single shadows that are so much prettier. I'm not sure if, you know, my makeup preferences, or if the past year, you know, I've really gotten into like single and topper eyeshadows. Maybe those just can't be done in a palette like this. But I feel like I have palettes like this where I like the glitters and metallics a lot better. I just feel like it looks a little chunky, a little lackluster, and this is anything but multi-dimensional to me, honestly. And for the price, if this palette wasn't $68, maybe I would keep it. But because it's so expensive, I expect really amazing quality, and to me, it's just not there. I wish it was. I don't like to return things, but I hate to say that I'm pretty sure I'm going to return this palette. So, I don't know. I just feel like there are better quality with other palettes. I really, yeah, ABH is still one of my favorite formulas of all time. I really love my Persona palettes, Natasha Denona. The list goes on. Also, I wish that these shades are so powdery and the topper shades are so crumbly and dry. I'm just not into it. So this palette was definitely a fail for me. I didn't want it to be. I was really excited. I was lusting over this palette for so long. But I hate to say it, but this just wasn't a win for me. But, you know, I test out a lot of makeup and everything can't be great. And I expect people I watch to give honest reviews. So I'm going to give you an honest review and say there are better palettes than this out there. I will be returning it. But I hope you guys found something helpful in this video. Definitely like and subscribe to my channel. And we will see you in my next one. Bye.